This Sabbath, when we were gathering, after we had had our meal and sang, we were sitting around in a circle and telling stories about animals. Might have started off with some funny things that people found on the internet. And of course, we're all joined together in a prayer for the original creation to be restored. The lion laying down with the lamb. And so, the little child being us, leading him to supper. And inside there's a vision. It's just the very beginnings of the beauty that the Father could create through us. But of course, the mosquitoes are not vampires. They're sucking on grapes and they're beautiful. And, all the creation is living in an expanding harmony of beauty. And that's happening. It starts from within us, tearing down the barbed wire fences in the slaughterhouses. And what that does, it opens up your heart on a whole nother level with the creation. It's really honoring our mother in the spirit, Mother Earth. And so we're telling these stories, and, it's so easy. It's such a beautiful thing because we're all joined together in it. We all have one heart. And yeah, in the world, people love animals. They have dogs and cats and birds in cages. And and then, a lot of the same people are out hunting, killing Bambi or Bambi's mother. You harden yourself to that is what happens. And that's, of course, that's historical and it's pretty much international. What happens when you don't participate in the killing is your heart opens up to the creatures that are the most peaceful, like the rabbits and the deers and the cows and the pigs and the sheep, the lambs. You start seeing them on a whole nother, and the chickens. You see them from a whole nother place. And we all have stories, all of the brothers and sisters, we all have beautiful stories about the animal creation. See, what happens is the animals, like people, they're altered by their environment. You take a chicken and put him in cages that they can barely move in. Play loud music, keep them up at night, give them drugs so that you can get either faster to grow so you can kill them and eat them, or to produce more eggs, and just pack them together. Well, people who would take care of chickens like that, they would look at them and go, they're stupid animals. They're stupid. I've lived with chickens that were free. I mean, really free. We didn't even take the eggs. One of the brothers, and I've mentioned before, in the high desert, square mile of land, and he had peacocks, pheasants, guinea hens, and chickens. And how beautiful they were to watch in their free space, especially the chickens. They were amazing. Garth, the brother, he got two roosters, and banty roosters. They're little guys. And they came in, there was already a pecking order. We would feed all the birds together. And of course, the peacocks are the big guys. These two little roosters are twins. They come in back to back. They're going to fight everybody. Nobody messed with them. And they're the littlest guys there. And then we got a hen for the roosters. And these guys were twins. They never fought. They lived in peace with the hen. They were happy campers. Now these guys are roosting on their own, and we're in a pretty wilderness area. Bobcats, great horned owls, even mountain lions, and coyotes, of course. And so, the genetics of the roosters probably not as tuned into living free as their ancestors would have been before they were domesticated. Not in a wild place. So they didn't roost really high. But they did roost. And so we had them for months like that. And then one day, only one rooster shows up. And I've never seen a more forlorn creature in my life. No more cockle-doodle-doo, head down. Evidently his brother and the hen were taken during the night. And so it ended up the peacocks took him in. Kind of hung with them and fed with them, but he was not happy. He didn't have his people. And so that went on for about a month. What was amazing is, roosters crow. Never once. I mean, never stop being forlorn. And then one day, the brother Garth went and got a little banny hen and brought her to the camp. And the people who were there, we all passed her around, petting her and checking her out. In the meantime, the rooster doesn't know yet. And so we walk over to the rooster and set the hen in front of the rooster. Instantaneous. Jumps up, starts crowing, running circles around the hen, totally changed bird, instantaneous. We were rolling on the ground laughing. Experiences like this is all love related. See, you have to be inside of. And mankind's relationship with the animal kingdom, even on the better sides, were, for most people, unless you start really recognizing, as long as you're eating the animals, you can't have for those animals that you're eating. And all the animals that you're eating are the peaceful ones. And you can't have a full connection with them, guys. There's no way. It's impossible. I met a brother one time. He had a baby pig in his hand. It was his pet. I saw him in a store. And so we got to talking a little bit, and he loved his pig. I mean, they were sharing love. Real love. Just like people do with their dogs and their cats and whatever animals that they do domesticate. But here he's got a pig, something that people eat a lot. And I asked him, "Are you still eating them?" And he was. He said, "But don't tell the little guy." But he's starting to become aware. Here he is sharing love. Another time, there was a large male pig in a small cage at a feed store. And it was also when I was up in the hill with Garth in that land in the desert. And the brother wanted us to buy the pig because he went in the little cage and was hugging the pig. And he worked in the store. He wanted us to buy the pig so that somebody didn't buy it and kill it. And the pig probably weighed 200 pounds. But he loved the pig. I met a brother years ago. We're walking in Texas. Brother pulls over in a car. It was a truck. And we gave him our witness. Now, he was moved to pull over. He didn't know us. He didn't know who we were. We're in our white robes, bare feet, bedrolls. He's sitting on the tailgate of his truck. We're sitting on the ground. We're giving him our witness. And part of it, of course, is the no killing and the vegetarian and why we do it. And he tells us his story. He's a cattle rancher. He inherited it. And recently, he was going through some changes because he had this bull that he had raised from when it was little. And they loved each other. And he loved this bull. And the bull grew and became full grown. And according to his business, he had to sell this bull. At a certain age, it was going to be slaughtered. It was hard for him. It was heartbreaking. He's telling us the story. And this is a man grown up in that business. And so when it came time, the truck came And he had to lead the bull into the truck. Broke his heart. But the bull trusted him. I mean, he knew, and he's expressing it from a deep place, the love that he shared with this creature. So he leads the bull in, and that's that. He said shortly after that, another bull actually rammed into him, almost killed him. And all these things in his mind were a conviction. Now, he believed in God, and he believed God was speaking to him. So here he meets us, and we're just bearing witness at what he was feeling. So he's asking us, what do I do now? We didn't really tell him what to do. And I don't have any clue of what he did do. But the point of the story is that in the real, that resides inside of everybody. The ability to love all these creatures, and especially the ones that people eat, because they're the peaceful ones. They're the vegetarians. I mean, people do eat dogs in some places in the world. And of course here, in this country, that would be considered an absolute abomination. But when you're sitting in a place like where, brothers and sisters sit, we don't feel that way. We don't feel that that's more of an abomination than eating a rabbit or a chicken or a pig or a lamb or a cow. Not in any way. Or a deer. No, it's a break in the communion that the Father established in the beginning. And it's a loss of a tremendous amount of beauty. And it creates a lot of hell that people are not aware that they're creating. You trade one thing for another. See, if you're living in a relationship with the Father's creation and the way He intended it, then you get all those blessings. That's the trade-off. Now you got all these blessings. You have feelings and awarenesses. Of course, in this world, sometimes they're hard because it's a hard world. And there's so many people who don't have those awarenesses that you have to bear. But I'd rather feel alive and free than be living in a state of exploitation and death. That's for sure. Or captivity and death. So, the stories of animals, I mean, there's so many, and everybody hears them, and everybody loves them. You look on the internet, there's zillions of them, and the animals get along with each other that normally don't, and have that ability, because that is inside of everything in this creation. I mean, if people really looked at it, come on, people, God is love. He doesn't create horrors. He doesn't create ugly things like, talons tearing apart a mouse. That's not his happening. That is a reflection of man away from God and the curses of this world. And it's written in everybody's heart. So everybody gets a choice. The Father's going to reestablish His kingdom no matter what anybody thinks or does. But we can be in union with it and be co-creators with Him. Or we could struggle against, which is not a good idea. I wish the best for everyone. In His name, amen.